folks, we're at the Emirates for the first game week this week. We actually got 2 game weeks coming up this calendar week before everyone goes back to school. Welcome back to Real Time Football. I am Real Time, and I'm going to bring you the game week 5 predictions, folks, for this midweek. And by the way, all the games are covered by BT Sport for you if you don't know already. So let's get straight into it. I hope you're having a good day. Leave your comments down below and react to my predictions. So we'll start off with Palace versus Brentford. Now, it's a tricky one to call. It's a really tricky one to call, but I thought Palace, as much as they lost 4-2 in the end, they conceded 4 in the second half. I thought they played well against Man City. The only game they didn't really play well in, I thought, was against Arsenal. Other than that, they've been brilliant. And I've decided, even though Brentford beat Man United 4-0, I'm going to merit Palace with the win here, and I'm going to say Crystal Palace 2, Brentford 1. I think Brentford will take the lead early on, but then it will be a ultimate Palace comeback. We'll move on to Fulham versus Brighton Hove Albion. So, Fulham only beaten once, and that defeat was, of course, against Arsenal. So yeah, that defeat was against Arsenal. Other than that, 2-2 against Liverpool, 0-0 against Wolves, and then they beat the Brentford 3-2. I have gone for a draw because I think Brighton haven't been beaten, have they? I think they've won 3 out of 4, is it? Tremendous form, been brilliant. They beat Leeds, they beat United at Old Trafford, first time they've ever done that, or first time they've ever done that in the Premier League at least. And who else did they beat? No, I can't remember. But anyway, they've been in top form, they haven't lost, so I can't say that Fulham will beat them, but I think Fulham will give them a challenge, 1-1. Southampton versus Chelsea. Last time this fixture took place, it actually finished 6-0 to Chelsea. However, Chelsea really struggled against Leicester City. They won 2-1. However, Conor Gallagher was sent off, and you feel as though he should be scoring more against Leicester as a Chelsea side. They are lacking a striker, though, which we are now not. So they're basically going for our problem from last season. Not had a great pre-season either. Let's not forget that 4-0 win for Arsenal in the Florida Cup to win the trophy. No, they drew 2-2 to Chelsea. They had a good win against Everton on the opening day. But that 3-0 defeat to Leeds was really summed up the Chelsea side. It sort of brought you back to the Chelsea side that lost 5-2 at Stamford Bridge to West Brom. It was a poor defeat. However, I'm going to merit Chelsea with the win. I think it will be nice and comfortable. 4-0 to them, this one. Tough on Southampton, but I'm saying 4-0. I've got it. Leeds versus Everton. Now, Everton have had an iffy-whiffy start to the season, if you like. They lost to Chelsea for the first time in God knows how long against Chelsea at Stamford at Goodison Park. Then they, I think they had a defeat to Aston Villa, which must have been really embarrassing. No one loses to Villa nowadays. Yeah, Everton's not had the greatest start to the season, but I will give them the fact that they have lost Richarlison, and I don't know if they've got Calvert-Lewin anymore either. Yeah, they've been in poor form. They really have. Drew 1-1 to Brentford, drew 1-1 to Nottingham Forest. Yeah, 5-1. So yeah, they've had 3 losses and 2 draws. So they're starting to get back on it, Everton, but they really need to pick themselves up, because I don't think they'll be good enough. I'm saying Leeds 2-0 though, this one, because the Leeds United found themselves second at one point after that 3-0 win over at Chelsea. And I feel like even though they lost 1-0 to Brighton, you felt like the win against Brentford, well, that was a cheat, but the win against Wolves, really crucial. really important, and it must have took a lot out of them, because I know that Leeds do tend to struggle against teams like Wolves. But yeah, big win. The 2-2 draw against Southampton, you have to feel sorry for a bit, because they were 2-0 up, cruising. Then Southampton all of a sudden hammer blow them and provide a comeback. So yeah, really tough on Leeds, that one. But then they went and beat Chelsea. The 1-0 defeat to Brighton was just unfortunate. They couldn't find the goals. Yeah. Let's move on to AFC Bournemouth versus Wolves now. I was going to say 3-0 for this one. You know, I don't think that Bournemouth can defend against anyone at the moment after that 9-0 defeat. I think they're one of the worst sides in the league. They're a bit like Norwich. I was going to say 3-0, but Wolves' form sort of put me off 3-0. And I've gone 2-0 because look at the form that they've been in. They had a really poor form at the end of last season, and yeah, it's been loss, draw, loss, draw. The 1-0 defeat to Tottenham, wow. Past couple of games, they've beaten Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but things change. They lost 3-1 to Liverpool, which ain't a surprise. The 2-1 defeat to Leeds was just Leeds bouncing back from a poor season and being really good. The 0-0 draw against Fulham, you feel as though they should score against Fulham. However, Fulham have been in a great form. Then the defeat to Tottenham, they played really well, couldn't find the goal. Tottenham ended up responding, winning 1-0. Then the 1-1 draw against Newcastle, should have won. Personally, I thought it was a foul in the build-up to the second goal. Rightly disallowed, but should have held on to the 1-0 lead for me. It was just lucky St Maximin scored out. And we'll move on to the big game. Apparently the big game of the week, according to the referees list, because Rob Jones, his picture, who's the referee for Arsenal versus Aston Villa, is on the top of the page, which usually means that's the referee of the biggest game. So according to the Premier League referees list, that's the biggest game. Arsenal versus Aston Villa, I've gone 5-0. Villa are poor. They're getting relegated. Nothing more to say other than Jesus' hat-trick. Who's calling? Gabriel Jesus. Yeah, 5-0 minimum. And I'm going to keep the same scoreline. Just two different sides. City, Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest started okay. 2-0 defeat. They've had two 2-0 defeats. A draw and a win. The win against West Ham was really good. Played well other than the disallowed goal, but it was offside, doesn't count, does it? That was a good win. Draw against Everton, draw against Everton. Probably could have held on. Didn't think the defending in the build up to the goal was great. But yeah, I've got to say City 5-0 because City coming back from 2-0 down to beat Palace 4-2 with Erling Haaland. They're basically unstoppable, and I think we get another hat-trick for him. 5-0 City. West Ham versus Spurs. Now West Ham got their first win of the season yesterday at Villa Park, 1-0. Pablo Fornals with the goal. I think that was their first goal of the season as well. So it was a boost for West Ham. A boost, yeah. But they're not the same Spurs. They're not the same side they were last season. That beat Tottenham 1-0. That beat Chelsea 3-2. That drew to Man City 2-2. The side that beat Liverpool 3-2. The side that was causing all the problems in the league. And you feel as though you want them to win this fixture. And I do. But you feel as though they can't and they've got to prove a point. David Moyes is a great manager, but unfortunately, based on the form at the end of last season and the start of this season, I'm going to have to say West Ham United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2. So Liverpool versus Newcastle. Liverpool, yet another side that have just been in a really poor form. I mean, talk to me about the stats. We're looking at the wrong one. win, draw, draw, loss, draw. Now, the 2-2 draw against Fulham, understandable. They're full of injuries, and Fulham are a great side, as they proved. Mitrovic scored twice, they took the lead twice, Liverpool responded. Darwin Núñez coming back. The 1-1 draw against Palace, you feel as though they should be beating Palace. However, Palace played really well in that game at Anfield. It was a great goal. Eze to Zaha. And then it was violent conduct from Darwin Núñez, and that has sort of hurt them a bit, pre-Man United. Yeah. Tough one on them. It was violent conduct on Kim Anderson. Understandable red card. I would have given it as violent conduct, straight red. And then the 2-1 defeat to Man United was just poor Liverpool. Not really showing much fight. Not really playing well at all. They didn't really find a rhythm in the game. And in the end, it was just United who found the rhythm early on. Were pumped up, ready to go, and ended up winning. And then the 9-0 win against Bournemouth, a bounce back, I suppose you could say. You expect them to beat Bournemouth by quite a fine margin. So, maybe it was a winning consolation. Or is that the start of a new form for Liverpool? I don't know, I'm going to leave you on that one. But I'm going to say 4-1 to Liverpool in this one. And then we'll finish off with Leicester versus Man United. Now, I've gone for this not based on Manchester United's recent form. I've gone for it based on Leicester's recent form. Now, Leicester City, what has happened to them? They have not won. I think they're on 1 point. And that's really poor from Leicester. They got a win and they got 4 points off United last season. But the form tells you otherwise. I mean, 4-1 against Southampton, and the 2-2 draw against Brentford, opening day, almost unacceptable. You should be beating Brentford, Leicester City, and Brendan Rodgers and the team know that. And then the 4-2 defeat to Arsenal, totally understandable. Arsenal are very good against Leicester usually, whether it's away or at home. We just have that knack against Leicester. I mean, it was some poor goalkeeping from Ramsdale. Had he had a good day, it would have finished 2-0. So Leicester wouldn't have got any of the goals. They were lucky to get any. We move on though. 2-1 defeat to Southampton. That was really embarrassing. Leicester usually beat Southampton, but no. They went 1-0 up for, I think it was Maddison or someone like that. And then would you look at that? Southampton complete a comeback at King Power. Yeah, embarrassing. And then the 2-1 defeat to Chelsea, understandable. So yeah, I've got Leicester 0, United 1. So thanks for watching, folks. Hope you all enjoy Game Week 5. We'll be bringing you plenty of watch-alongs over the midweek. And we'll end right up until the 22nd of October. It's going to be non-stop content from Real Tom Football. And I do need to change that. I do need to change it. In fact, I'm going to change it right now. Because why not? Can I talk to it here? Oh, hang on. I can do it. Here we go. Let's edit the name. Yeah. It's about time I sorted that. There you go. Right, thanks all for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for Leeds of United vs Everton, or whatever game is chosen by the polls. On Friday we'll release the next Premier League predictions video, which will be Game Week 6, I believe. Until then, bye bye. Leave a like, subscribe.